Hello, gamers. Welcome into Pepegas on Ice against Magnitude Fault Shift. Are we enjoying ourselves? Are we having a good evening this evening? I hope so, because we're going to have a better evening with this wonderful match of Heroes of the Storm. Alright, we've got Volskaya Foundry coming up first. Let's take a quick look, cheat a little bit, look at the BO5. We had Pepegas on Ice ban Towers of Doom and Braxis Holdout, taking map pick of Volskaya, Fault Shift, of course, opting out of Alterac Pass and Gardens of Terror. Garden of Terror. It's only the one. But we have a wonderful, wonderful draft coming in with Anubarak banned out by Fault Shift. They are the 5th seed, so they unfortunately automatically lost the coin flip. Pepegas on Ice automatically winning the coin flip. Anubarak being our first ban. I don't know if we're looking at just a tank preference for the players of Pepegas. Deathwing, not necessarily my pick for a first ban, so it must be some insider information. Even on Volskaya, like decent, good. I mean, you can hold the point pretty well, but it gotta be something I'm not seeing, that we're not seeing, chat. I like it. I like the idea. Let's see how. I mean, maybe week 2. Pepegas on Ice got burned by Magnitude's Deathwing. We have ETC banned out, looking for a tank choke over on Fault Shift. Let's see how Pepegas on Ice respond. I mean, we're looking at I can't even say a fairly standard draft. We're looking at some bans. You know, normally you'd expect to see Johanna, you'd expect to see Diablo, maybe, like there. Maybe not from first pick per se, but forcing the Johanna to be banned second pick or second ban is stock standard. Looking for a tank choke, maybe this is a tank, but Junkrat's still up, Vala's still up, you still have Blaze Hogger, Anduin is still up. Which, if you're going to tank choke, awesome. Maybe these are the 3 tanks that Pepegas on Ice's tank plays so well. Then again, maybe not. So we'll see. But Anduin first pick by Primary Medio, pretty good. Varian Falstead, no complaints from me. Volskaya is a big map, but also small. Like, the rotate between top and mid is small enough to where Varian can kind of bully anyone going past heal camp. He can sit in the bush and punish anyone overextending in top wave. Raynor Garrosh looks just fine. Obviously, you're trying to queue away the Varian with the, penetrating shot from Jimmy. Garrosh looking for a toss on a taunt into a combo. I don't hate this. I don't hate this at all. We'll see what third ban does for us. I'm expecting an offlaner here, Blaze or Hogger. Let's see what we get. Malthael. What are they plotting? What are they planning? As far as bans over here from Fault Shift, maybe it's a healer. I see healer still gone. Again, another offlaner. Teal being the tank. I would assume that that's going to be a taunt Varian. We should probably all assume it's going to be a taunt Varian. Li Ming, another damage, also works. Falstead has enough wave cleared to where, yeah, you could probably pair it with a Li Ming. Li Ming goes great with Varian. You hold your rotation, wait for taunt. Press all your buttons, hopefully kill somebody, press all your buttons again, hopefully kill somebody, and it rolls and it rolls and it rolls. Karazim Samuro is not what I expected. It makes sense. I don't hate it. It's a big map, can't chase Samuro. Everyone is familiar with the CCS teams. Karazim, you go 7-sided, Varian taunts, and it's a big damage fest. Gets out of flips, now gets out of the zombie walls. I like Karazim, I like Samuro. They're both pretty okay as far as being in melee with Gary. Nazebo and Sonya as the responses from Fault Shift. Naz clears the wave well enough. Sonya does just fine. I don't know how she does into Smurl. I'm not an offlaner. I don't know the matchups. As I understand it, you can go spin, but you could also go slam. I think it's fine. Big leap. I don't know if you're really killing anything off rip. Naz and Raynor kind of make fights draw out. But Andy, Garrosh, Sonya, I don't hate. Zagara is gonna not like the leap. Not like the leap light bomb. Not gonna like Gary Q coming in for that one. It is a little difficult until 10 if Gary goes decimate for Fault Shift to clear creep. Outside of that, like, you have to angle Toads perfect. I don't remember if Spiders gets it or not. But we'll start this game. I don't know whose draft I like. I mean, if we look at Pepegas, I can see a little bit of counter synergy. Maybe if they maw the taunt target, you know, everyone's just calling out names and then it gets muddled and they get mawed and everything. But so far, I don't mind. I think I like Fault Shift's draft a little bit more, but I'm willing to concede on that. I think the burden of execution is definitely on Pepegas on Ice to A, not die, and B, not, layer all of their abilities at the same time. But as we go into game, we get on the blue side, Tomjin on the Samuro. We get Raptor on the Falstead. We have Teal on the Varian, Tikor on the Karazim, and Sylphrenia on the Zagara. On the red side, we have Koteb on Zebo, Leifskitoria on Garrosh, Primary Medio on Anduin, ES Cypher on the Sonya, and the Jaster on Jimmy. James Raynor. Looking at a level 1 fight, level 1 talents, we've got Way of the Wind, we have Corpse Feeders, Frequent Flyer, Insight, and Lion's Maw. And on the side of Fault Shift, we've got Pandemic for Toads, Even-Handed Blessings, Furious Blow, Warbreaker, and Ace in the Hole. I like the Ace, I like the Warbreaker. I think these are pretty solid 1 talents. Looking at Samuro, trying to cheese what he can in bot lane, getting not much off of the tower. Sonya not being able to get much in response, but they know with a toss from the Gary, a root miss, Teal might just make it out. Nope. Minion toss being able to deal enough damage and get enough slow for the Varian to find the gray screen. Camps being taken. It's okay to be a little bit late on this one if you're Fault Shift just because you got that Varian kill, right? We're even in XP up here. And after this camp, you'll be ahead. We continue on. Koteb is going to try and farm and get these Voodoo Ritual stacks up. Hopefully not die to this rotation up here. Is Raptor and Sylphrenia on the Falstead. Falstead's able to not get him with 8 HP. Koteb walks away. Good for him. Still making Zebo base. Still Tikor trying to stack up that Insight for some extra spell casts, I believe. Yeah. Ability cooldowns are reduced by 1.75 seconds every 3rd auto attack. And that includes the enhanced auto attacks from Kirazim's E. So we have both of the siege camps going. The assault troopers as Life Tutoria comes in for a toss, and that's dead Teal. Varian, unfortunately, until he's 10, even can't be up that far, even though we have Taunt, even though we have 4. Our 4 abilities are coming in: Hammer Gains and Venom Spine, Spirit Ally, Taunt, and one with the Wind. On the other side, Blood Ritual, Piercing Light, Shattered Ground, Indomitable, and Behemoth Armor. Primary Medio picking up the heal camp as we get a clear in the top lane. Sonya being able to catch the mid for everyone. the team of Fault Shift are able to just push in these assault troopers, and Samuro gets a little bit of a free clear. Down about, I don't know, a quarter of a level or so. We're trying to see if Fault Shift is going to be able to do anything. Sonya just kind of clearing the wave and brawling with Samuro. And all of these guys are doing, I'm going to say, staggered clearing. Like, they're not facing each other in lane, right? They're in opposite lanes trying to clear opposite waves. Whether that's part of the siege or what, I believe that one of the teams with Falstead up here, I believe Pepegas on ice, is trying to wait till 7. They could go in. They have Teal with Taunt. They have a heroic ability. They dropped a gun. So, with Falstead still up here, we're probably not going to see much action. And are going to instead wait for 7s. The 7s come out. We get any quick picks. We have Bile Drop. We have Blinding Speed, Secret Weapon, Burning Blade, and Victory Rush. The fight comes in for the point. Both teams have 7. Varian gets tossed out. Going to taunt the Garrosh, who gets pulled. Guns out to both sides, just shooting away. Both offlaners trying to disrupt the backline. As Life Tutorio's looking for maybe a throw, isn't able to get one, and Teal is forced off the point. Overtime is saved, but Teal does have to back up with their health bar going down to 0. First objective, going over to Fault Shift. It's fine. Maybe Zag gets some stacks on the E7 in that fight, which is much better than I would do. 8 stacks now, just kind of stacking on the Protector, counts as a hero, all that jazz. I don't think they're able to get this fort. They probably get about 3/4 of it, especially with Zag really dealing a decent amount of damage to the Protector. We can look at 7s for Fault Shift. We got Toads of Hugeness, Desperate Prayer, Poison Spear, Oppressor, and Heavy Slugs. I'm going to say relatively stock standard stuff. Looks good to me. Raptor trying to stay alive up here with the Protector dropping off the Gunner. Getting a few clears out. Camps are up. We're able to kind of look at them. Maybe we're going towards guns or something. But we see Jimmy and Andy take the back assault troopers, trying to get ahead in that race. It's being responded to by Zag and Varian, but maybe a little bit later. I don't know how much slower these two do it. It won't be by much. It won't be necessarily game-breaking to do it a little bit slower. We have 10s on the side of Pepegas on ice. Bladestorm, Mighty Gust, Devouring Maw, 7-sided Strike, and Shield Wall. The parry instead of the dash for Varian. Life Tutoria showing their hand here as the Nazebo gets taunted into his own wall and killed. Nazebo going down, not the end of the world. Samuro might be the trade there. A leap comes out, a spear misses, and Samuro walks away. That's why you can't chase him, folks. But we have a 1 for nothing, 1 for maybe a tap or a base or something, but Tomjin is able to soak this wave easily enough as we get a top push in response here. Hyperion, yes, Hyperion coming out, Decimate coming out, Leap coming out, Light Bomb, and Gargantuan. No one's necessarily going for heal camp right now, but we have a good push going kind of nowhere, actually. Everyone's stalemated. Gary's looking for positioning here, but did get sniped by Teal with a Mighty Gust coming out from Raptor on the Falstead, diffusing the situation for the cost of a 60-second cooldown ultimate. 70? 60. Bile Drop is done, by the way. The 7E for Zagara is done. We do have an additional Roachling. It will be maybe not necessarily now, but it will be a little bit later, kind of important to have that extra roach. We get bottom wall getting taken down by the team here. Zag fighting Nazebo. That's kind of the offlane at the moment. A big fly coming up from Falstead. They're trying to take down this Naz, and so far nothing. Samuro, again, walking away from everything because it's Samuro. But we have a fight going down here in the top lane, maybe before 13s and before this goes down. Teal gets tossed back, but a Maw comes in on the Garrosh. Teal taken down to about 30 HP, gets healed up to about 40%. Elite comes in, and a big stun from everybody. Seven-sided to dodge the Light Bomb, but Zagara and Varian go down. So, for this next objective, we have Hyperion and Decimate with a Mighty Gust, but Raptor's not going to be able to contest this. You can't win 1v4. T-Core is going to try and farm mid, while Raptor tries and clears top as best he can. And we just kind of sit and wait for this objective to be done. Gary doing their diligent duty to sit on point. Everyone else pushing down the wall of Pepegas. The Gust coming out does prevent Gary from pushing past and maybe tossing Raptor into a precarious situation. T-Core trying to pressure on the Anduin as Varian gets tossed and queued. Looking for a taunt on the Jimmy. Protect coming out, peeling Light Bomb as we get a Gary in the Maw. Teal doesn't have taunt up for it yet. Gary gets a good pull coming out from Andy with the heal camp set down. Protector was captured, so it looks like we're just kind of take it down and maybe not get much value out of it. Jster looking to get in it, maybe just leave it. Half health, half time. We'll see what they can get out of it. Gary and Jimmy in there. Cyphers come up to try and push with this, leaving the Kerosene at 40%. Leaving the Samuro down bottom to push, hopefully to trade out this fort as it goes down to 20% or so. A good toss onto the Varian here will put a taunt in response as fort goes down. Gun coming out, Varian might be able to walk out of here, but the Anduin root catches him, and the Gary stun catches him, and down goes Varian. A Gust by Raptor to no avail as they were clearing the mid lane. In response, though, bot was taken, and XP seems relatively even. For 13s, we've got Shikuchi, Sustained Winds, Hydralisk Transfusion, Sixth Sense, Mortal Strike, and for Fault Shift, we've got Guardian Toads, Lion Speed, No Escape, Defensive Maneuvers, and where are we going? Over here to the back assault camp. Defensive Maneuvers and line them up. I like taking camps here. You're pretty well set on the map. Other than bottom, which both the guns are missing, you are pretty well set on the map, right? This wave is at Keep Wall. This wave was sieging Fort. Your two camps, well, your camp, and excuse me, the heal camp might as well be free. But as we look at 16th here, we've got Ring of Poison, double pull, with the Faith for the Anduin, Giant Slammer for the Sonya, Mortal Combo for the Garrosh, Paint Them Red for the Jimmy. 16s achieved at functionally the same time. We have Harsh Winds by Samuro, Airy Gust by Falstead, Corrosive Saliva for the Zagara, Echo of Heaven for the Kerosene, and Banner of Dalaran for the Varian. Kerosene looking to deal some damage up on to Anduin, but isn't really able to deal anything that sticks. Wade's getting caught and soaked as your gun goes down. Not the end of the world. You lose a gun. Someone else has to pick it up for Gary because he's already got the heal camp. But we've got the other gun going in the direction of Fault Shift as Samuro takes some time to deal damage to the fort. Shikuchi's out, right? That's the active one. Yeah. Shikuchi's out as Garrosh attempts to interrupt. Teal looking for Cypher here. Gets a taunt onto the Sonya. Sonya flipped out and then pulled The double pull does not work for the Maw, though, as Gary gets eaten alive. Cypher goes in for the leap, double leap. Zagara is taking damage, but a good gust is able to maybe keep Zagara alive a little bit longer, as eventually they do go down. You do not want, in this fight, Zagara to be the first one to go. Zagara you want to be the last one to go, if at all. The extended damage that she can put out is a little nasty, especially if they stack 7, and these two talents here, Hydralisk Transfusion and Corrosive Saliva. Both teams are sitting pretty, honestly, looking for a siege on the bottom fort from Fault Shift as they kind of put down their toys. Kotep trying to clear a path out here, but slams down guard as they take a lot of tower shots. Able to get about 75, it's about a quarter health there. Percent of the fort, and Samuro walks in behind everybody, but is able to walk out because it is, again, Samuro. A strong wave top as we look into this bottom protector and bottom objective. No one quite ready to get 20s yet, as we see people soaking. Cypher trying to do what they can to Tomjin, not able to do much. It is Samuro, but again, Samuro is pretty low. We have the Assault Troopers camp being pushed up top as bottom fort is sieged down. Both teams being out of a bottom fort would mean no tap for this objective for either side, but in response, I believe Pepegas is trying to get their get back, get a trade going for this fort as the protector does finish. It looks like this fort might go down unless the DPS and healer can stall it and save it, and they just barely do. Gary's walking up with the protector as we go into the third protector phase. No one's in the gunner seat yet, and it looks like they're going to send in Jaster. Still no 20s for either side as we continue down, sieging down the mid wall. This is where the next protector will spawn. It goes mid, top, bottom, mid, top, bottom. If you get 7 protectors on this map, you're at like 45 minutes and you've been playing for too long. 7-sided deals a decent amount of damage to the protector as it might go down to this Kerosene, and it does. Looks like, not nothing, but Teal might be posturing for a quick grab as a 20 fight. This is disadvantaged. T-Core's looking for a way out, but doesn't find one as Leap connects with the Kerosene. Kerosene goes down, and you got, oh no, you guys, you gotta pick up the gun. Cypher steals the gun out as Light Bomb comes in. Teal is, I'm not gonna say bailed out, Teal is saved by the Gust from Raptor and Falstead as Lights Victoria is able to flip Sylphrenia into their whole team. Oh no, Anduin keeping the Garrosh alive under the tower. Heal camps down. There's 2 people down on the side of Pepegas as Lights Victoria is just going in and just absolutely terrorizing Pepegas on ice for all of these positional mistakes. I mean, a flip will just kind of kill you sometimes, so it looks like we're going to get a good siege down on the core, and this just might be it, unless Raptor has something up their sleeve, or Tomjin is able to take down this Nazebo, but it looks like it's just too far gone, as game 1 with a Nazebo death is going to Magnitude Fault Shift. GG's, we've got at least 2, maybe 4 more coming up, but game 1 going to the players of Magnitude. Looking at the stats here, we had a relatively low damage game. A lot of siege damage. That's to be expected. 2 kills were both on Nazebo for Pepegas. Everyone else, I mean, Nazebo was overextended once and died on core because the call was to die on core, right? Not a big deal. Varian got flipped a lot. Anduin would have been very helpful for the pull on the other side, but of course being first picked and counterpicked with the Garrosh, Varian had a relatively difficult time trying to get good taunts in. Falstead and Samuro able to avoid any lasting damage. XP-wise, we have Tomgen on the Samuro soaking up a decent amount. Sonya and Nazebo doing the same. As we work into talents here, we've got 20s. I mean, Mighty Gust, they never really came out, but we do have Light Bomb 20, Spear 20, Deadly Calm. Pretty good stuff, pretty standard stuff. Overall, good game from both teams. Obviously, you like to see the team that picked the map win the map, but hey, it's playoffs, baby. Anything can happen. So we will wait for map 2, as everyone please get some more water, and I will update this real fast. Fault Shift is up 1-0 over Pepegas on ice.
you'd stop it.
All right, we've got 10 players in the lobby and a map picked. Looks like the next map will be Cursed Hollow, picked by Fault Shift here. Not a huge departure from Volskaya. Both are big maps. However, the objective is, I'm going to say, not totally different, but stylistically similar, but functionally separate. The objective being, instead of standing on point, we have, of course, the 3 tributes that you have to collect, and it, instead of giving you a big robot to push with, turns off all structures. I like this map pick if the style of play from Fault Shift is going to be macro. I think a micro game works great here. But if they give us the picks from before, if we get the Nazebo again, if we get a Dahaka this time instead of maybe the Sonya, Samuro is a little more dangerous on this map. Falstead's a little more dangerous on this map. If it's easy enough for Samuro to go around and just take towers and take waves and just push, then it's going to be a nightmare for Fault Shift. Similar thing with Falstead, is willing to Z in whenever. Dahaka needs, maybe not needs to. I don't know how much of a priority he is after the change with the dig and globes, but especially since it's a single wave map for him, we are looking more towards some just fast heroes, right? Heroes that take waves well and do camps relatively well. Or we're looking for 1-1-1, right? Basically 2 offlaners and a tank, with a camp clearer taking out all of the camps with the healer. We'll see how draft shakes out. We'll see what the skinny is with it. But we push into draft and are going to get, for the first ban, a return to lobby. Okay. They've been telling me that, gotcha. I see. First pick was flipped. That makes more sense. First pick was flipped, so we are going back to lobby, and we are going back to start it again. There has been some technical issues for these teams, and we see a lot of, or we may see some drops, maybe, at least disconnects. They told me to be aware of that, so I'm passing it on to you all. Be aware of that. There may be some disconnects today. Internet service providers have been slacking as it is. But we go back, Cursed Hollow. Yep, I'd like to see probably people that can just hold their own in lane and be decent in a team fight, right? Hog or Blaze. I'd like to see Johanna, of course. I don't think she'll make it through draft. But she's able to clear a wave quick enough and go and help on whatever camp that the other two are doing. I'd like to see maybe a Rhaegar come out. Of course, always Anduin. It's hard to get rid of Anduin. But we do sometimes. We'll see. We'll see what draft lends itself to. As I promised, that was a fake noise. There we go.
Hollow.
Cursed Hollow. Did everyone grab their water? I hope so. I hope everyone grabbed their water. Fault Shift up 1-0. They won Pepega's map choice. Volskaya should be Cursed Hollow. It should look good. We have a draft coming out now, this time correctly, on who's first pick and who is not. Fault Shift picked this map, so we have Pepegas on ice getting their first pick. Let's see what occurs. I'm expecting, I mean, your first pick, you don't really want to ban away anything crazy. Maybe Dibbles, if you're not going to play Dibbles. I mean, who knows? Who knows what goes away first? Samuro. Even though they played Samuro. I mean, okay. If there's a Samuro player on the other team, and you know you're not going to first pick him, because you shouldn't, let's be clear here. You probably should ban Samuro, because it's fine to second pick him, I think. But, like, if you're not taking him before third ban, okay, banning him makes sense here. A Nubarak ban. Cursed Hollow is not like Garden, where you have to get rid of the little guys defending the point, but instead is probably just a solid tank for, I believe Teal is their tank. Leoric, another good choice, another good ban. Looks like they're trying to choke the off lane. Off lane last time playing Sonya for Fault Shift was good. I mean, looked solid, looked decent, looked more than playable. So I'm not too worried. I think Sonya clears the way fine. I think maybe she's a tier down from Blaze. The same two bans coming out from Fault Shift, though. Nubarak and ETC. Teal, apparently a very scary cow. But first pick approaches, and I'm looking at Johanna, Anduin, Junkrat, looking at Dahaka, Falstead, anything, Johanna, perfect. Never bad. Sometimes okay, but never bad. Most of the time great. As we get the 1-2 picks, Joe is, again, no surprise for me. I don't think they need to go tank here. I'd like to see some Falstead. I like the Anduin. Malthael. Okay, so Malthael must have been a big choice. It was third ban last time by Pepegas. So, a good map for him, you go Pale Horse, right? On a Pale Horse, I think, is the one that gives you the mount speed. You go Pale Horse, and you go into a decent team fight. I do like Jimmy, and I do like Sylv. Those are two great DPS for us to see here. Sylv, of course, pushes hard, whether you go Merc Queen or you go Possession. Because the other ones, I think they're changing or in the patch. Check the patch notes, by the way. I think they're changing the... What does she get those on? 4-7? I haven't played Sylv in a long time. Deathwing, a contested pick, apparently, in this series. Banned last time by Pepegas, banned this time by Fault Shift. We have... Anduin Malthael isn't scary by itself. I mean, there's a little bit of a light bomb delivery, but you have to go in, then out, then in again. It is, what, instant once you're in range? Falstead's a good ban here. You're not playing him. You have Rain or Sylv. They still have both of their DPS options up, or their DPS and their flex options up. I like the ban on Falstead here. Again, Deathwing being a hotly contested pick. They're looking like that. They wanted to ban that for the off lane of Muidar. Koteb grabbing the Asmo. I like it. You're going to push lanes. Murden, very solid. Not that Jimmy and Sylv can't do anything about it, right? We just kind of run away. But if the hammer is timed correctly by Murden, he could be a pain in the butt. Pain in the ass. I like Asmo. Going to be a good push. It's a big map. Similar thing with Falstead, right? Pseudo-global with the Demon Lieutenants. But a Chen pick and a Brightwing. Brightwing I expected. Chen I did not. We're looking to brawl a little bit. Decent wave clear. Does alright, but a good team fight. and Barrel is, as long as you do it right, one of the best peels in the game. Or grabs, right? Q through them and barrel them back. Counter pick? Gosh, I don't even know. Vala made it to pick 10. I don't hate it. Might be tough to stack, but otherwise really solid. Excuse me. We have 2 comps that I don't know what the identity for Fault Shift is per se. Anduin, Vala, Muradin, Malthael makes sense. Asmodan may be there to cover. The Johanna, Raynor, Sylvanas, Chen, Brightwing. I mean, that one is, I'm not going to say more macro, but I can look at that one and see macro for sure. I don't know. I think we'll call it the burden of execution again. Whose comp is maybe harder to play, harder to kind of pilot. It's not that Pepegas is don't fight. It's that Pepegas can fight and can pick, right? You have mind control or silence. You have shield. We have barrel. Jimmy puts out a decent amount of damage. Is it alt 1? No. I forget what it is. But on the blue side, we have Teal on Joe, Tomjin on Jimmy, Raptor on Sylv, Muidar on Brightwing, and Tikor on Chen. And for the red side, we have Cypher on Malthael, Koteb on the Asmo, Jaster, barely you can see him back there, is on the Vala. Medio, primary Medio, is on the Anduin, and Life's Tutoria is on the Muradin. Looking for some top damage here. Cypher seems to be sniffing this out. Seems to maybe be sniffing this out. They should notice now. Yep, they're on wave. And we're getting about, going to get probably about half before Raptor has to back away. Teal taking most of that damage as Raptor tries to fight for some more and eats the Asmo chunk. Asmo getting 4 stacks from that with the Gluttony 1 instead of the normal 2. But looking at the ones, we have Exterminator, we have Hyper Shift, Storm Stout Secret Recipe, Zealous Glare, and Overwhelming Affliction. And on the red side, we have Gluttony, Dwarf Block, On a Pale Horse, Even-Handed Blessings, and Puncturing Arrow. I think Gluttony is fine. They're taking down the top fort again, or trying to at least. Asmo getting a decent amount of stacks from that, but they realize that no one else is coming, but that Asmo used his globe, and they get the top tower from that. Teal is going to base, as Raptor is going to wait and maybe support the Giants. Brightwing Zing in to help Tomjin with the Bruiser Camp here. A good push coming out as Fault Shift did get the Bruiser Camp out first. So they have a fat wave coming into the mid lane. Johanna doing what she can, but with Demon Lieutenants and Demon Warriors, it is tough to save. Excuse me. It is tough to save anything more than this front wall. Chen just kind of sitting down here soaking as Raptor has to leave with a 4-man gank coming their way. XP is probably about a level ahead for the side of Pepegas as they get their push going. Tomjin taking Fight or Flight as we try to do this before the fight happens. Magic Spit for the Brightwing. Deadly Strike for the Chen. Subdue Quest for the Johanna. And Unstable Poison for the Sylv. Sylv does get hit by the Muradin Q, but is dealing a decent amount of damage to Muradin's life pool. But I'm sure Third Wind will help with that here in a little bit if he's able to walk away, and a Sylv E confirms the Muradin kill, going for the Anduin damage, and isn't able to get much more out of it. We're still 15 seconds out from the Sylv trait, so tower will stay as Anduin is trying to get a little bit more. Got greedy going into the Night Camp, and mid fort should fall for that, whether or not Cypher is here. They have an extra wave coming in. Teal is going down to about 20%. Raptor is not wanting to die for this fort. But you have a very, very low mid fort. Tomjin a little far forward. Teal looking to save. Tomjin able to dodge the Q of Asmo, but it is to no avail. Teal dies for, well, for Jimmy Sins as they both go down, and a counter push in the mid lane for Fault Shift. Brightwing Z's in to help defend this fort. A good Sylvanas Banshee wave will turn off all the minions and make it very easy to clear. Life Victoria is taken down to about 40%, but is healed back up. Fort taken down to about 50%. Chen just punching away down there, kicking away down there. But we have a wonderful amount of push going in for the side of Fault Shift. Half of a fort down here. But it looks like, honestly, an even better push in Pepegas as we look for the top fort away from the objective down here. Malthael is looking to defend against this Sylph, but Brightwing Z's in, and Anduin double loop goes down as Raptor's target is kind of eking it out, but at 20 HP is not going to be able to get away. Huidar is looking to leave, and Teal is making sure to body block those Anduin roots. And not line up, as we do have Piercing Light, the Chastised Puncture, Black Harvest on the Malthael, Thunderburn on the Muradin. Jaster is trying to deal damage to Tomjin. Tomjin, duck, dive, dip. Hold on, what is it? Either way, the 6 Ds of Dodgeball, well, I don't know. Listen, we'll workshop that, okay? I gotta watch Dodgeball to end it up here again. T-Core finally being accosted by someone on the red side as Koteb is attempting to save them from the push of Chen. As we do already have 2 curse captures coming out for the side of Pepegas on ice, excuse me. This one is in a great position for magnitude as we're looking at it being on their side. Fort is almost down, so it's not as safe. It is difficult to kind of walk up through Boss Pit, but this Sylph could be dead if more than Muradin was watching. Muradin, of course, calling it out, but Vala is a little bit to rotate as Muradin saves the fort with about 30% HP left. Anduin looking to get this gone and going as 10s come out. We have Hyperion, Blink Heal, Wandering Keg, Blessed Shield, and Wailing Arrow. And we have a Sylvanas at 300 HP. Is able to walk away, but Cypher comes in and is going to miss the Malthael E. On the other side, we have Tide of Sin, Tormented Souls, Light Bombs, Strafe, and Muradin, I'm assuming, is going to be Avatar, but will go Haymaker to do a little bit of playmaking as we get almost a gank down here, going in on the Jimmy, but Keg is able to push him away as we get one Haymaker in, but Jaster is being absolutely bullied by this Chen right now. Anduin comes in to save with a peeling light bomb that doesn't quite get the Chen, but Jimmy goes down anyways, just with Muradin being so darn sticky. So genuinely 1 HP on this fort, and it's not even funny. We have 85, and a double blind will do it for Teal. Going back in, we have a camp invade on the side of Fault Shift, a double stun into the Sonya and Sylvanas and the Chen, both walking away. Jaster being damaged back, but a good timed punch sends the Chen and the Brightwing into the backline. The Chen is able to walk away and Keg away, as the camp is still neutral, as we can see with the yellow health bars here. Johanna goes in to try and get a good Blessed Shield, and a good Wailing Arrow maybe comes out. It was still on cooldown, I'm sorry. Vala goes down, Muradin goes down, Camp goes down, collected by Tomjin, as Medio is trying to live, doing the best they can. Koteb throwing a Hail Mary dunk, as eventually they will go down with 4 people on them. The Anduin should not be taking this. This is so illegal. This is so illegal, but they made it. Great game sense by Medio, seeing all 4 people go down, or go up, I'm sorry, and chase both Cypher and Koteb, as Cypher then goes down and is going to prompt a boss call. Johanna is low mana, Sylvanas is low HP. Brightwing does have Z, we can see it's up right here, and will use it on the Sylph. Boss will leash for a second, as it's a 3-on-5. Keg should be up, Keg is up, and we're looking for, there's a 13 advantage on the blue side, but Murden wants in, will be kegged away, boss is taken by Pepegas on ice, and Murden will not escape with their life. Boss taken by Pepegas as it goes to a very low HP fort. 13s on the side of Pepegas, we have Giddy Up, we have Pixie Power, Pressure Point, Blessed Hammer, and Remorselessness. Sorry, Remorseless. I can read, I promise. I've got at least a 3rd grade reading level, which I did learn is not reading books written for 3rd grade. It's about like how much you can actually read subtext for like 3rd, 5th, 9th, and 12th in like college reading level. A good boss push gets you most of Fort Wall. We have bottom tower maybe still up. The Hyperion dealing a decent amount of damage here, as we have a fight over the watchtower, with Brightwing, of course, taking that curse. Cypher will go down here. I can't see a way they get out. I just don't have the vision. I don't have the vision. Cypher is able to dodge, but eventually Blessed Shield does come out, and they're still alive. They're still alive. This is impossible. Sylvanas goes down. A Light Bomb goes out, stuns the Jimmy, as Brightwing is fighting for their life right now. T-Core is pushing back Koteb as Muidar tries to leave. Will go down to about 200 HP, as for all of that, and for all they were trying to get this Malthael, Cypher stays alive and Sylvanas dies instead. The Watchtower does eventually go over to Johanna, but that Malthael kept this push down. No one was able to push with any of the waves that have turned off the structures, because they were all trying to kill Malthael, and now they just take their conciliatory camps. Their consolation camps.
Enough. The curse is over. I hope you made them.
13s already achieved for the side of Fault Shift, as we have Hydea's Kiss, Thunderstrike, Ethereal Existence, Lion Speed Boots, and Siphoning Arrows, as we have a fight coming in. Cypher arrowed and kegged back into the Jimmy, is able to go down this time. Camp goes over to the side of Pepegas on ice, and we have, that was a tankless fight. Murden was elsewhere. You can't be in that camp at the moment. 16's coming out for Pepegas on ice with Paint Them Red, Flying Leap, Holy Renewal, Will of the Forsaken, and Brightwing. I'm expecting the Polymorph one, Criterize. Life's Tutoria will go down to the full might of the blue team. Jaster getting in as many Qs as they can with the keep going down. Some decent stacks here for Azmodan. We're looking at 244. And eventually they back out. Boss is up. There's a giant pushing in the bottom lane. Looks like Jimmy is just going to start boss and go for it. I'm not going to say he can do it all by himself, but there is some homework to do. And Chen will make sure to do the homework for Pepegas. Pepegas are sitting nice. Fault Shift is by no means out of this game. If Fault Shift hits 20, I'm not going to say it'll be over, but it'll be a lot better. We have for 16th for Fault Shift Trample. We have Double Pull, Manticore, Mortality, I can read, I promise, and Imposing Presence on the Muradin. Not a fight that you want to take here. Malthael is still top, but Let's Tutoria goes in, attempting to get a stun on the back line. A decent chunk coming out from the Azmodan, but T-Core is ready to flank and keg. And the Muradin goes down. A silence going over the DPS here, as Cypher does make it back, is able to pop the souls, and Strafe takes down T-Core. T-Core is all on borrowed time, as Life's Tutoria jumps forward, accuse the Muradin with Chen, Joe, and Sylv all dead. It's a 5v2. Never mind, it's a fight you don't want to take. They took it, but they will lose bot fort for it, probably. We'll see if I'm a liar again. A great timed curse. I think you want to get this. I think you can get this on the way out. But other than that, you've got to clean up boss. Boss will take bot keep. Brightwing will attempt to hold top fort as you push with knights, and you get this wave pushing in onto keep wall. Malthael, of course, trying to get bottom down here, but we have keep wall being pushed, and Tomjin and Teal attempting to save it. Blinds coming out. We have a Haymaker pushing the Jimmy back, and a Muidar Zing in as the Anduin goes down, and T-Core is going to try and keg the Muradin back, make sure they go down, but we'll go over to the siege camp, and maybe we'll make it out. Eventually, we'll have nowhere to go, but for now, we'll do their best to jump around. We'll go down eventually, and the side of Fault Shift is going to get most of this fort, if not all of it. Got the keep wall in the mid fort here, but Brightwing was able to successfully defend the top fort, as they will end up with about 90% of this, 80% of this, 80. Boss is being taken here by the side of Pepegas on ice. There's, I like this boss call. Muradin's dead, Anduin's dead. This is free. This is yours. You might lose bot fort for it, but you're pushing on to their last keep. And it looks like they either really want to defend, I don't know whose pings those are. Yeah, they really want to defend this, but yeah, Giants guarantees that bot fort, and you're hoping that boss will guarantee this top keep. Let me take a big swig of water before this fight goes down. 20's coming out as well. No, Keg came too fast. Primary Medio able to get a 3-man light bomb with the assistance of the Keg. Sylvanas down to 3-digit HP as we have a Tormented Souls coming out from the Malthael. Teal going down to about 1200 HP and will eventually go down. Jaster able to take them out. T-Core, even with all the stagger and the extra HP, will also eventually go down. But damage has been done. Keep has been taken. And even though you were kind of losing your 20 fight, they have to deal with katas every wave. And they don't have the... Oh, Tomjin. No, Tomjin, you were too far forward. You were basing in the wrong bush, my friend. Vala cues forward. And a good Muradin stun will get Tomjin secured with the Anduin route following up. Fault Shift able to hit 20 on this. We have Pride, we have Reaper of Souls, we have Inner Fire, we have Acrobat, and we have something from Muradin, probably Rewind, might be Double Haymaker, I don't know. On the side of Pepegas on ice, we have Raider's Roll, Fairy Protector, Untapped Potential, Radiating Faith, and Bolt of the Storm. A big push coming in both lanes right now. Mid-keep will go down. Maybe they're able to rotate in, but they look like they don't want to try and force anything bottom. Just be safe, take the siege camp, and get the Cursed started again. '20s are even. Muradin, still waiting to see what 20 they pick. Cypher is able to collect the tribute here. And they are looking maybe to take down this top fort. It's basically guaranteed. Everyone will do what they can to try and defend it, but of course you don't want to die for this fort. If whichever team dies here, this should be the last team fight, unless it's like a 1-for-1. Whatever team dies here will lose. Just by habit that there's an open lane here and 3 open lanes here. So we're going to watch this with intent. We did get a rewind out of the Muradin. Let's Tutoria going to jump in and try and find out where everyone is. Asmodean almost fully stacked at 384 at the top up there. A Keg in. A Keg to try and push away the Muradin, but a Light Bomb gets the Sylvanas. We have a fight coming in with Cypher getting low on the Malthael, but isn't quite going down. A Desperate Prayer keeps him up. Let's Tutoria is traded out for the Sylvanas, as Jaster is going to try and run down Teal on the Johanna. Primary Medio is trying to keep himself alive against T-Core on the Chen. Jaster gave up on the Joe and is going to confirm T-Core. We have Tomjin hoping, with the help of Teal on the Johanna, to keep this game alive, but a Night Camp and a Vala is not looking good for you two. doing what they can. Tomjin will try and deal some damage and try and clear some camps, but Asmo and Vala will be able to deal a lot of damage on this core, and unless they get a kill about now, it's not looking good. Tomjin pretty low. If the light bomb comes out, Tomjin goes down. Kotev's just wailing away on everything, and we have game 2 going to Magnitude Fault Shift. Unfortunately for Fault Shift, we are in a best of 5. They have not won yet. They are 1 game away from facing Butcher's Meat Market in round 2, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's potentially 3 more games to play. We had a nice game coming out with game summary coming in. A good showing, I think, still from Fault Shift. It was not by any means, right? They were not out of the game, but they hit 20, right? Their power spike with Asmodan and Vala. And they were able to kind of push their lead. Muradin, despite being half of the deaths, was able to disrupt the backlines and do what they can. Looking at damage here, a lot of damage coming out from the side of Fault Shift. Let me update this. Coming out from the side of Fault Shift, as we see Malthael with insane self-healing numbers, by the way. 31k, which is rivaling Chen. I mean, yeah, you're still 15k under. But you have a good amount of XP, a good amount of self-healing, as Malthael and Asmodan did what Malthael and Asmodan do, which is soak a bunch of lanes. They were still second, I think, because the team XP was so high, and second to 20, sorry. Team XP was so high, and being able to kind of soak everything together was so strong for the side of Pepegas. As we look at talents here, stock standard PvE Jimmy build. I've been shying away from this. I like all of these, but not Pepper, but the other one. The one that was played last time, Ace in the Hole. I like Ace in the Hole a lot, but I mean, it did its job, right? Like, you got the bosses quick, you cleared the camps as best you could, but at some point you just don't have any sort of damage to be done, right? Like, Vala, very squishy hero. Jimmy was not able to take down the Vala. But otherwise, yeah, that's the build you go. I think there's a 16 that you can take that isn't Q, but if you want to stay alive, you want to deal some damage. Muradin's in your face, absolutely. Brightwing, yep, looks good. Critterize maybe at 16. But Fairy Protector looks great. Critical Miss, all of this looks great. Chen, I think the kegs were good. You got Muradin most of the time. Obviously, you want to try for a damage dealer, but it's Vala and Asmo. Asmo's going to trample out, or Vala's so far back and has 3 flips that you're just not going to get her. Teal, yep, looks great. Stock standard Sylvanas build. Asmodan, I don't play him much. I don't know what the build is, but Titusin and Pride look good as long as you got all of the stacks required. Rewind on the Muradin. Haymaker, Avatar maybe would have helped you live a little bit longer, but Haymaker was able to remove damage dealers, so, some here, some there. I've been seeing this since the patch. Black Harvest, Massacre, Tormented Souls, Ethereal Existence, and Mortality and Reaper of Souls. The one is interchangeable, right? You have to go Pale Horse on this map. But this, I mean, I'm not necessarily a believer now, but I do believe it a little bit with how much you were living and how much you were able to, stay alive, waste time. I'm thinking in your watchtower in the southeast there. Anduin build looks fine. Vala, hey, that's Q build, baby. They didn't have the thing you need to go Gloom. They didn't have the magic damage here. I would say maybe try W for Anduin, W1, W13. Looks great. Of course, you're in playoffs. play Comfort. Hell yeah. But we have 2 map wins for Fault Shift. As we look back at the stats, 2 map wins for Fault Shift, and no map wins for Pepegas on Ice. This was the score in the regular season. As we go back to look at our best of 5 here, we had Volskaya picked by Pepegas, and Fault Shift won on their map pick. Fault Shift, after Pepegas opted for first pick, grabbed Cursed and, made it to 20 and made it a good win for them. So far so good. I think for Fault Shift, maybe, I don't want to say that we're scrambling for Pepegas on Ice, but I think we're maybe a little bit nervous, a little bit tense. And we are waiting to hear what Game 3 is going to be and who will be the map picker. But for now, we have a good showing from Fault Shift, and just barely. I think Pepegas on Ice needed to win before 20. They needed to be alive enough and healthy enough to push that top wave with the boss, and they just weren't. So we'll look through this one, and I think scrubbing it would be useful. Just know that the win cons are Vala Asmo. Simple as. But we await map number 3, and we await who picked it.
loves you. You've done so many things. But do people, like, out of all your stuff, though, do people, when you're in a hardware store, do they still do? Like all that? Yeah.
It's grunt for me. You know, like I'm one of those little monkeys that does this.
They ask you.
Yeah, they come and grunt for me.
I think it might just be invincible. Cut the corners based on principle. Lay it long ways when it's side to side. Give this offering to the King of Heights. What I hate is hating you. In the morning, I hate me too. I might just hate it, but I'd like it warm. Simple math in its basic form. Long division for a greater sum. Took the pieces, glued them on my thumb. What I hate is hating you. In the morning, I hate me too.
All right. What is going on, gamers? We have learned what our third map will be, and we are looking at Infernal Shrines, picked by Fault Shift. And we have a good map coming. I don't know what the bands are going to look like. I don't know what the game's going to look like, but we have first pick coming in for Pepegas on Ice. They opted for first pick. They lost the last game, opted for first pick. Map picked by Fault Shift. But we'll see what they end up with. Anduin, solid band there. I think the Anduin's been really good. I don't think it's been bad by any means. I do understand now why the Malthael was banned game 1. That was kind of nasty. I don't know how you're supposed to stay alive that long as Malthael, but someone does. So, as long as they know. Anubarak coming in again. We're probably going to see the ETC, the Cow ban, second for magnitude. But we get Anubarak first to begin with. Yep, Malthael, great. That's who I would have banned. That one's scary. Malthael's decent on shrines. You're going to have a good cleave. You're going to have a good shrine clear. You don't really need to run all that far. And yeah, Anub and Cal. It's been working. You're up 2-0. Pepegas on Ice, looking for their first map of the series. Hoping to get it with the first pick here on Shrines, which will, of course, be as I vamp for 15 seconds. Probably Joe. I mean, your Joe didn't look bad. I don't see why you don't run it again. You're on Shrines. It's up. Unless you want to play Diablo. Yeah, it looked good. We might as well send it back. Run it back, send it again, and continue. Not bashing our heads against the wall. Continue to try. Right. No reason to give up right now. I think at this point you're betting that you are going to win the endurance battle as we get Ariel and Falstead. Ariel, great. Falstead, great. Ariel, good on the map. Falstead, good, honestly, everywhere. I do really enjoy me some Falstead. As we look towards the 2-3 for Pepegas on Ice, we have a Sylvanas for Raptor and Leoric for Muridar. I like these both. Your offlaner is out of the way. Their healer's already picked. and you're kind of looking decent. Leoric's good on shrines. No Sonya, no Hogger. You know, he's not like one of those two, but it's definitely going to be a decent Leoric match for this. Brightwing banned out. The Brightwing, again, the healers have both been playing really solid. I've had minimal complaints. Listen, I'm out of the playoffs. These guys are the ones playing. You know, I think we can all agree that these guys have been playing well enough to do the top, well enough to hit the top half of the bracket. And an instant Samuro for Cypher. Absolutely instant. Shrines, it's going to be good, probably. It is interesting to see Samuro be on both sides of the team. But a Vala ban did precede the Samuro pick, followed up by the Nzebo for Koteb. We look here. I don't mind this Ariel, Falstead, Samuro, Nzebo. If you really want priority, then great. Alex Straza, wonderful. It's Alex's map. I try to force it as much as I can. My team, well, I draft. I don't let myself. I know I shouldn't. And Mephisto. I mean, if you have a May, play the May. If you don't have a May, that's fine. But Lipscutoria, what you got for us? What you got? What's a good last pick here? Tyrael. Also good. You're able to holy ground them off. Tyrael does butt nuts damage. Listen. I'm going to say this right now. There's 0 CC. Actually, 0 CC for the side. Unless you go, fine. There's Judgment. And Whip. But, functionally speaking, 0 CC for the red side. You are hoping that you are able to maneuver around them, gust them away when they get too dangerous, and have Tyrael and Ariel just fuck shit up, right? And Smerl just fuck shit up. On the side of Pepegas, you have Fisto, Alex, Sylv, Leo, Joe. Are they, here's the questions. Are they getting out of Entomb? Are they able to, you can't cleanse, per se, with Aegis here on Ariel. You can't cleanse the Blessed Shield, but it does look fine, right? You're not going to be able to, if it's bouncing to you, save the person who's the primary target, right? Fisto's going to be dealing a lot of damage. Sylvanas is going to be dealing a decent amount of damage. But on the red side, we have T-Core on the Alex Straza. We have Muidar on the Leoric, Raptor on the Sylvanas, Tomjin on the Fisto, and Teal on the Johanna. Following up on the red side, we have Cypher on the Samuro. We have Falstead being played by the Jaster. Lyscutoria on the Tyrael, Koteb on the Nzebo, and Primary Medio on the Poor Horse with Ariel. Looking for a bot push here with the Sylv. Looks like it's getting sniffed out, though, as we see 3 members of Fault Shift come in towards the bottom, and will be accosting them as we look at ones. T-Core gets stunned up, though, in the zombie wall. Not looking great. Does throw the W back, and Lipscutoria is able to deal a decent amount of damage without, I'm not going to say taking too much, but we have Unyielding Power. We have Piss Missile build. We have Qs on the Mephisto. Circle of Life, W's for the Alex Straza, Might of the Banshee Queen for the Sylvanas, Ossian Renewal for the Leoric, and Zealous Glare for the Joe. As Khazra are getting taken, we have Thing of the Deep for the Nzebo, Ardent Restoration for the Tyrael, Searing Light for the Ariel, Way of the Wind for Samuro, and Gathering Storm for the Falstead. Neutral camp is going down towards Pepegas as they are able to take it. And, I mean, a decent amount of fighting. Who's really stacking here? Because it looks, I mean, obviously Falstead's going to be stacking. No one else really is. I mean, Fisto has Q stacks going, and Raptor is trying to get some free damage onto the fort wall. as the offlaners seem to be double soaking as best they can. But we have Sylvanas and Mephisto cleaning up this mid wave as Cypher is attempting to get, honestly, a decent amount of damage onto Raptor. But the mid camp is being baited, it seems. They checked it, no one was there, they threw abilities down, decided to back off as Fault Shift go and take their hard camp and clear mid. Johanna will finish off this Khazra camp, I guess do and finish off this Khazra camp with Fisto grabbing bot wave and eventually this finishing. A good chug. Drink your water, folks. Drink your water, please. Stay hydrated. Mid-siege, getting taken. They're a little behind on the Bruiser camp, but I don't mind. You know, it's a 2:30 map, right? Objective announces itself at 2 minutes and 30. Your mid is going to get pushed in a little bit, but Samuro is pushing pretty hard. So, like, your top is getting pushed in, your mid was getting pushed in, even though you did have the siege out. But eventually, for the cost of about half of your wall, maybe all of your wall, you do get the Bruiser camp out. And Shrine is up, wall is most of the way down, they have top tower up still. As we see Leoric down bottom still, but Tomjin going down to about 40% HP, has a tap, will come back. Going forward, getting as many Q stacks as they can as we look at fours real quick. We have Spite, Exuberance, Unstable Poison with the fight. Johanna W's in, gets most of Tyrael's life force, and Tyrael will not be able to Q out in time. Teal keeps walking forward, eats all of that Tyrael damage. Tomjin being a little too close to the sun, but T-Core pops the big dragon as an effort to heal Teal continues. Fault Shift will back off as Ariel continues to get Q stacks here, or E stacks, sorry. Nope, they didn't go E. Majestic Span, great talent. But we have sevens now. We have Spite and Froststorm for Mephisto, Exuberance and Verdant Flourish for the Alex Straza. We have Unstable Poison and Festering Wounds for the Sylvanas, Paralyzing Rage, there we go, not range, and Drain Momentum for the Leoric, Eternal Retaliation and Conviction for the Johanna, and we have sevens as they appear for Fault Shift here, Blood Ritual and Dead Rush for the Gazebo, we have Majestic Span and Energized Cord for the Ariel, Deflection and Burning Blade for the Samuro, Updraft and Secret Weapon for the Falstead, and Divine Vigor and Purge Evil for the Tyrael. We look as John Cena will get a good jump here on a Koteb, taking him down to about 50% as Meteor kills him back up. Lescutoria doing what they can to try and spread out the damage, take extra damage, you know, virtually taunt them to hit them instead of the fort. A good Condemn brings in the side of Fault Shift as Lescutoria is looking to get a little extra damage on the way out. Raptor, maybe a little deep, but will E to safety. Maybe not safety, maybe not safety. Teal comes in, able to hit a Condemn, does not have enough mana for an E. And everyone will walk away a little bit worse for wear. But camps are getting taken. Camps are not getting taken. Camp was getting taken as top is still being pushed in by Nazeebo, Tyrael, and Ariel. T-Core, the only one left to defend, is Sylvanas, is coming back up, and Mephisto is getting him now as well. Mephisto trying to deal a little bit extra damage as Teal pushes forward, trying to bait out anything out of the Tyrael. Falls does fly up, will even out the numbers here. Sylvanas down to about 40%, will get taken down to 150 and go down to the Ariel W. We see a 1-for-0 as Fault Shift will look to push in this top fort. The Leoric and the Samuro are in opposite lanes trying to make sure that they're up on soak and get 10 first, but 10s, of course, will go to Pepegas on ice. We have Lifebinder, Entomb, Blessed Shield, Wailing Arrow, Endurance of Hate picked pretty quickly. And in response, we have Sanctification, Crystal Aegis, Blade Storm, Mighty Gust, and Guard. I don't think I would go Slappy. I mean, you could go Slappy Ghost. Give Thing of the Deep. You don't need to, like, turbo push. What is it? Ravening Spirit or something? Yeah. Ravenous Spirit. There we go. I like Slappy Ghost. I mean, you're gonna get interrupted by Blessed Shield or Wailing Arrow. And, like, Durance doesn't interrupt you. Silence and Tomb will at 20. Like, Wailing Arrow will. You'll be fine. You have Thing of the Deep. Ravenous Spirit's a great pick here. Samuro, again, can't be chased, but mid with camp being taken is set to go down. For the side of Fault Shift, I mean, obviously they're sitting pretty. A lot of no damage. Tyrael is going to heal this up with Ariel pretty quickly. Bottom seems to be the object of affection for the, maybe? Seems to be the object of affection. Ooh, interesting. Did you guys see that? I don't know if you all saw that or not. As the... What? Oh no! The gank on the other side went much better for Fault Shift. I'm sorry. I was impressed that Samuro blinked the W away from Sylv. But for Leoric's life, they get a large lead, but do lose their top fort. So, ideally here, if you are Pepegas on ice, you are looking to take this uncontested. Make sure you hold out your Alex trait, and try not to get pushed in too hard as they have both summoners pushing your top keep. Looks like they're going to 39 it and not let it push, because you do want to take this fort with this. But you also want to defend this as Johanna goes in. He's trying to get a good Blessed Shield, and Endurance of Hate with the Sanctification will cleanse everything. A great Sanct by Liz Victoria. As everyone walks out, a couple ults down, but honestly pretty healthy. Samuro is trying to chase down the Sylvanas and the Leoric as Fault Shift walks away. 13's coming out for Fault Shift. We're looking at Superstition, Blinding Flash, Flow Rider, Shikuchi, and for Tyrael, I'm assuming this is going to be Holy Ground, Sacred Ground, whatever it is. 13's coming out for Pepegas on ice. We have Dragon Scales, we have Blessed Hammer, we have Holy Ground for the Tyrael. We have Samuro top with Leoric as both teams converge on this bottom camp. Wind Runner and Spectral Leech with Abhorred Skull coming in for the Mephisto. So, Pepegas on ice finished the Punisher. They were at 38. They just had to grab a couple more of those minions. And Teal goes in to tank it, probably to eat a couple Punisher shots that it would have taken otherwise. Black Arrows turns off the structure. If you do have a Frozen, maybe that's doubled up a little bit, but a good stun onto the Tyrael as Tomjin goes a little deep with the E, but is fine. Iscutoria is trying to get what they can out of this, and a good life as a whiff comes out from the Blessed Shield. However, another stun comes in, but Wailing Arrow comes out over top of the Crystal Aegis from the Ariel. Mid fort goes down as we keep looking down here at bot keep. An unfortunate, the top tower did not get turned off, but Black Arrows will solve that conundrum. Sylv having it back up, and T-Core will pop Big Dragon. The Mother of Dragons is coming out as Jaster gets condemned, but will not face many actions for it. However, Tyrael does go down as Jaster attempts to throw out Gust in time. Punisher eventually goes down, taking out all of bottom fort and bottom keep gate. Raptor Eing in a little bit and Eing back, having the double E at 13. Durance of Hate goes out and Meteor goes down. Kotab likely to follow unless they focus on Keep here. And it looks like they're going to. Teal taking a lot of damage from the Jaster on Falstead. But eventually Keep goes down. 2 forts versus Fort and Keep. I mean, Keep's going to be pretty solid. It's 16 to 15 in levels. So there was a swing with those structures back. Let's Victoria looking to be an annoyance on Tyrael. 16's coming out for both teams. We have Mithril Mace, we have Holy Renewal, Will of the Forsaken, Tough Love, and number 5 is not picked yet. We have Lightning the Action. As a fight breaks out, we do have Ravenous Spirit coming out, Big Slappy Ghost going slappy, slappy, slappy. A Railing Arrow comes out as Tomjin is throwing out Endurance. Jaster goes down to about 200 HP, is saved by the Ariel, will be saved again by the Ariel and the Sanctification. Kotep walks out with about 500 health as T-Core gets stuck in their own Entomb. Jaster comes out, is dealing damage to Tomjin, looking maybe for Teal on that 1000 HP at about 20%. And Meteor goes down to 40 health before being able to save themselves. Sylve looking deep for it, but Holy Ground will cut off any more follow-up. A 2 for nothing as Fault Shift walk away with this. 16s for both teams. We have Ring of Poison, Horadric Reforging. I will not be saying that again. That's going to be very hard on my words, on my mouth. Reservoir of Hope coming out for Ariel. Press the Attack for the Samuro, and Crippling Hammer for the Falstead. Looking at a first to 20, it's likely that Magnitude will end up being first to 20. They're getting good camps. Kotep's grabbing mid camp here. I'm expecting a Bruiser out here ASAP. And so that means they don't want to fight this. As we see up top, announcers about to tell us that an Arcane Punisher is coming up top lane as bot wave gets pushed. I'm sorry. Just trying to take a swig of water. Shrine's ready as we see Muidar attempting to de-push this camp and Samuro attempting to push in this catapult. Evening up the keeps here would be very, very big for Fault Shift. I don't think they're in any trouble at all, don't get me wrong. They're early to start on this camp. I think that's good. I think it's also correct. Making sure, Pepegas, that they are taking this camp and finding themselves in a good spot to contest this. 20, I mean, maybe you got to skip this wave. Skip this wave, excuse me. And you got to fight here. Falstead's got to fly ASAP to make sure that it will be a 5v5. As Ravening Spirit comes out onto the Alex W. Muidar taking most of that. Endurance of Hate goes out on Material as Entomb and Crystal Aegis come out. Sanctification goes down as everyone is gusted into it. Teal goes down in the zombie wall. Tomjin getting low, but is making sure that Lifebinder is doing its job. Litskutoria is getting low. Don't know if they have the mana for the Q or not, but Jaster will find their way out as Muidar gets stuck in a ghost wall, a zombie wall, and will ghost walk out. Right now, a 1 for nothing, a 2 for nothing as Muidar goes down. Looks like Fault Shift want to press their advantage and continue pushing as 20s come out for them. We see Shield of Hope, we see Mighty Gust. I'm looking at a Wind Strider. I'm looking probably at a Sanct, like improved Sanct. Annihilating Spirit looks great here. You're getting good value out of your Spirit. I don't see why not. And maybe you get Sanct upgrade. I don't know if you do the new trait that they have you do, but Keep is going down regardless. Durance of Hate misses from Tomjin as they're trying to hold this down 20s and down Johanna and Leoric. Leoric being up as soon as he can with his passive, and it's 45% looks like on this as 20s are going to come in not before probably this hits core. This is going to be very, very close. I'm very, very nervous for the Pepegas tonight. Tomjin getting some good damage down on the tank But Koteb sending out the Slappy Ghost and applying a 50% healing debuff to anyone that gets hit by it. Keep goes down with the Punisher down at about 50% HP. Teal doing what they can, but a good 20 Entomb and layered with a good Wailing Arrow as Jaster goes down and falls dead. Life Tutorial looking to go next on the Tyrael. Cypher walking away as Koteb is being slowed. Tyrael damage reduction doing a good job as Muidar is continuing to pressure Koteb and Meteo. Koteb goes down, Cypher makes it out. Meteo is looking to throw their life away and make sure that they are not too staggered. Meteo taking a while to die. It probably would have been better just to walk away. It's unlikely you're going to get Raptor, but you are only... you're 20 seconds off from Tyrael. I'm sorry, 40 seconds off from Tyrael, 20 seconds off from everybody else, as Pepegas on ice absolutely doing the right thing. They are going deep into the base of Fault Shift and trying to take core. Tyrael will be up in time to defend this, but it will only be Tyrael and Smurl. Smurl going to try to beat the Alex back, and oh, Sylv at 1 HP goes down! Oh no! Oh no! And the Entomb misses on the Samuro. And Tyrael's back up to defend. Most of your core push was on that Sylv. I mean, Mephisto can do a great job pushing, but Sylv going down was huge. What a great snag. Oh, gosh. Okay. 20s for Pepegas on ice. We've got Mimic. We've got Ritual of Life. We've got Bolt of the Storm. Buried Alive and Radiating Faith. An extra... What do you call it? Extra bounce. There it is. An extra bounce on the Johanna. Anyone in the Entomb is silenced. Sylv gets a blink. Lifebinder goes 3 times, once every 2 seconds. And Mimic, when W still goes, the ring still goes for Mephisto, even when he's E'd on both the Shade and himself. Hopefully they're not waiting for me. I can't say anything. I am ready. I'm ready to go. Right? Cypher's on one side. Tutorial's on the other. I'm good. I'm R. I can't say anything, though. They can't see it. No, kidding. Honestly, good game. A butt clencher is how I would describe this one. There we go. As Cypher attempts to slow down the retreat and minion wave of... Excuse me. Oh! Cypher attempts to slow it down, but will eat a Blessed Shield and take 95% of his health, quite honestly. Good wave position coming in from Magnitude, as they have a Kata pushing and a good wave mid. A double wave with these 6 Archer minions, or I guess Javelin minions. Both mid camps being taken. I assume that this bottom camp is being taken soon as well. It was an angle to end until Sylv went down because they had 200 HP. Very nerve-wracking, very scary. Yeah, you've got to take this camp if you are on the side of Pepegas. You get some top push going. You got to make sure to defend your bot side. Samuro will do Samuro things and just pop up in places, as we've got a potential flank angle here. Jaster looking to sit in the bush and watch for their team. A decent amount of damage already going down onto this wall, and Siege Camp hasn't even arrived. They are going to back off because Samuro is showing top. So they do know, and if it was 5, Leo was on map too, but Leo does have priority here, so it's good for them to back off. Is anyone else sweaty? I'm sweaty. It's a good game. Bruise Camp's being taken. Looks good. It's bottom. Cypher. Are you going to prove that you can't chase Samuro? Because it looks like it. Yep. Wailing Arrow's going to miss. That's a big cooldown for this upcoming fight. And we have a... which one is it? Arcane? No, Mortar. Mortar is orange. We have a Mortar Punisher coming in as we look and see that Lifscutoria is trying to do what they can, and top is being defended by Muridar. It is going to be a 4v5 if they decide to push, which they might. Teal goes under the zombie wall as a Blessed Shield disrupts the Zebo R. Lifebounder going in on, I didn't see who, but Dragon Form is coming out. Dragon Queen is active. Everyone just kind of being relatively healthy. We got two people in the back line for Magnitude, as a Mighty Gust will push everyone into the corner as they isolate the Johanna and take her down. Cypher, I mean, it's not over. It's not over. Your damage is still up. Yeah, your tank's down, but you have Leoric. Leoric can't die, of course. Leoric cannot die. If Leoric goes down, it probably will be GG. It's going to be tough. You do have Durance of Hate going through. Mimic maybe getting some value here as Jaster goes down to pretty low. Tomjin hoping to grab some more as a jump hits Muridar, and Muridar goes down. This is not good. The Tyrael will continue to try and beat up on the Sylvanas, who is clearing most of this Punisher. Cypher will bring in the wave to mid-keep as mid-keep also goes down. No keeps left and 20% health on the Punisher. A jump will stun the Sylvanas and Tyrael will take advantage of that. But Core is going down way too fast, and this looks like a swift 3-0 for the side of Magnitude Fault Shift. GG's. Well done. 3-0. Holy wah. All right, we have a map win for Fault Shift, a series win for Fault Shift. Honestly, relatively clean game. 112,000. I mean, it pains me, right? It pains me. You did 112k on the Mephisto. You pumped out the damage. You got half the kills, but sometimes, you know, it's not in the cards, man. It is what it is. You got a really good push down bottom wave, through bottom lane, and really kind of sending it through. And we get a nice win. Nazebo doing a decent amount of damage here for the side of Magnitude. Samuro doing a lot of soak and a lot of structure damage. And of course getting that massive kill on the Sylv. The one kill was very impactful. We look at talents here. We've got Unyielding Power. Unyielding Power and into the rest of the Q build. We have a Ritual of Life going in, Blink and Will. Buried Alive for the Leoric looks great. We have Blessed Shield and Radiating Faith. Ravenous Spirit looks good. Holy Ground looks great. Looking at Crystal Aegis and Shield of Hope looks awesome. 10s and 20s look great across the board. Overall, a great series here from the side of Fault Shift as we kind of go to congratulate them on their 3-0 over the side of Pepegas on Ice. Fulfilling the upset, let's look at the BO5 here. OBS. BO5. One on the map pick, one on, initially Pepegas on Ice opted for map pick, and we got a first pick coming out of them. Looking good, honestly. No complaints for Magnitude. and they looked really, really solid. So we're going to hear from Kotep, the damage dealer, the Nazebo and Asmo player, and see what Kotep has to say. Hello, hello. Congratulations.
Why, thank you, kind sir.
Mm-hmm. So a 3-0. You guys were the underdogs. It was 4th seed to 5th seed. So I know that you guys won week 2, but week 2 was a long time ago. So I'm glad to see you guys kept up the momentum here.
Thanks, friend. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So run me through game 1. They picked Volskaya. I saw a Deathwing ban. You want to tell me about the Deathwing ban?
So, we did a lot of research, and I mean a lot, and we narrowed down that their tank player, Teal, played basically 3 tanks, ETC, Anubarak, and Johanna. And Johanna is one we shared, so we let that be the open one. And we said if we get first pick, which we did, we would take the Johanna and we would force him on a hero he does not normally play.
Yeah.
So we didn't really care where they went, because by locking in the Johanna, they would be forced on like their 4th or 5th pick, and that was the variant, and that's not a terrible matchup, but they couldn't quite lock it in because the other thing is we knew that they have 5 main players and 3 or 4 sub players. And when they have the sub players, they play even worse. So by dismantling their synergy, we didn't really care what map they went to. Although Volskaya was Teal is very good at macro. That team is a team that is macro heavy. So slight concern there, but we got in a robot. We had a decent team composition. I think we were okay on that map, and we won. So clearly we were okay.
Yeah. Obviously good enough to win the map. Map 2, I see there was Samuro was back and forth on both sides in all 3 maps. But they were able to take it from map 2, I believe, right? Yeah, you guys were not ones to shy away from it in map 3, obviously. But how was that Samuro priority like for you guys in draft?
So Cypher really likes the Samuro. It has a lot of mobility, and it has a lot of map pressure with the Bladestorm. I remember they have one Samuro player at least in Tom Gen. I don't remember if their sub plays it. I think they do. But by having their sub as an option for the Samuro, I think they had to ban it in game 2 because they didn't want to play against it. And then game 3 they had to leave it open, but then Cypher got it. And in game 1 we left it open because we knew if they picked it early, Cypher could counter pick it, and he did with Sonya. So
Mm-hmm.
it's another one of those things where we read into it and we're like, okay, well, if we leave it open and they take it, we have the counter. And on the big map, we were a little surprised they banned it early because Samuro has a lot stronger there, but they got their normal roster and Moiter normally heals, and that would mean Tom Gen goes back to damage, so that would be why they banned that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did notice the Malthael pick was very, very strong for you guys. Could not go down. There was the fight over the southeast watchtower that multiple times Cypher went down to about 200 HP and went all the way back up. So Malthael, obviously a very big comfort pick for them.
Yeah, Malthael, Cypher, again, it's another hero that he's pretty comfortable, pretty stable on. And as you said, you know, if you're not at 0 HP, you're still gaining HP back. So it's a hero that we have to see what the other team is locked in first. But if he's allowed to just basically go into a fairly low crowd control and just keep healing off of the I forget what it's called, the Death Cloud, the Reaper Souls ult.
Yeah, Tormented Souls.
Yeah, Tormented Souls. He just won't die, and he will do so much damage, and he'll unfortunately put me to shame in the damage department, but he'll basically win the fight because he's a drain tank. And if the offlane favors that and the map favors that, and Samurai is banned because it's quite often banned against him,
Mm-hmm.
we'll happily take that.
Well, sweet. Hey, congrats on the 3-0. You guys have Butcher's Meat Market next. Good luck.
We sure do.
They're
Thanks.
incredibly beatable. I can't officially root for anybody, but I am rooting for an underdog story as always. Any
Thanks,
quick little shout outs that you want to do before we sign off here?
I would like to shout out that we are now 6-0 on Cursed Hollow, and I'm shocked I left that up.
Wow.
They banned Braxis, which no one likes playing Braxis, let's be real. But I thought we would take them to Braxis, and we spent like an hour on like a strategy for Braxis. They would get the Johanna, we would get counterpick, we would like do some, and we didn't, and that made me a little sad. But shouts, I'd like to shout Magnitude for making a little team that Lifts could captain, and then adopting me. That was cool. I was teamless. It was very sad. I'd like to shout you for casting our game. It's always cool to have the game casted.
Mm-hmm.
And the other team put up a good fight. It was a good game. They almost ended on shrines if Sylvanas didn't get caught. That was an end angle. That might have taken us to game 4. But I would like to note we are the only team that got 3-0. Everyone else was 3-1.
That's true.
Maybe
Everyone else
this
was
means
3-1.
something.
It might. Who knows? You were the closest seed matchup though, so maybe it was fated to be in this matchup. But again,
Details.
yeah. Congratulations. Good luck next week. If no one picks it up, I'm sure as long as no one's playing at the same time, I'll grab one of them. So
Yeah, man, be our good luck charm.
yeah, congrats. Good luck next week, and good job.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you. We have, honestly, the end of our broadcast here. A 3-0 from Fault Shift. They are moving on to face Butcher's Meat Market, the first seed in C. We are looking at a good, well-fought game, I'm sure, coming up soon. And the other side is CM Daybreak, and we are looking at... Oh gosh, I can't quite remember. CM Daybreak versus... Let me grab it for you all real quick. Disband Now, the 2 and the 3 seed. So the 5 seed makes it forward, and the 2 and the 3 seed play on the other side of the bracket. Thank you all so much for coming out. Congratulations again to Magnitude Fault Shift. We are rooting for them, and we hope for the best in next week's matchups. Thank you again. I appreciate you all, and I will see you next week.